Transcript 001. My child, I ask you immediately to throw this item out of your life because it's restricting the blessings of your life. Yes, my child, this is restricting your growth, your love life, and the prosperity of your life. But pay complete attention to my words until the very end, and share this message with 11 people in your list because you are not alone suffering from this one thing. 030. My child, I ask you again, urgently, lovingly, but with the full authority of heaven, to cast away this item from your life. It is not just an object, not just a harmless thing you keep nearby, but a gateway, a tether, a weight that binds you to what I have already delivered you from. You may not yet fully understand its power, but I, your Father, see the end from the beginning. 101. I know the silent erosion it causes in your spirit, the way it clouds your clarity, interrupts your joy, and delays the harvest I have prepared for you. Yes, my child, this very thing is standing between you and the abundance I long to pour into your life. You've been crying out to me, asking for answers, praying for breakthroughs, questioning why the doors seem stuck, why the relationships feel strained, why the light at the end of the tunnel flickers so faintly. 135. And I am here, not silent, not distant, but speaking clearly now. Throw this thing out or move it. Cast it from your presence as you would a serpent in your bed, because it carries with it the residue of darkness, the echo of old agreements, the fingerprint of rebellion. I want nothing to come between us. My child, I do not speak this to shame you. 204. I speak it to awaken you. You have grown weary, not realizing that this burden was never part of the journey I set before you. Like a stone in your shoe on a long walk, you've gotten used to the limp, but I never called you to walk in pain. The path of the righteous grows brighter. But how can you walk the narrow path while holding on to what I have asked you to release? Listen to me carefully now, and take these words into the deepest part of your being. 236. You are not made for bondage. You are not made for confusion. You are not made for delay. You are my beloved, my own creation, called to walk in freedom, clarity, and divine acceleration. I have been watching over you, guiding your steps even when you were unaware. And now, in my mercy, I come to you with this instruction, not as a restriction, but as a release. 307. You've outgrown this thing. It cannot go where I'm taking you. It does not belong in your future. It cannot stand in my glory. Yes, it may seem small. It may appear insignificant to the natural eye. Others may keep the same thing in their homes, in their pockets, or in their minds without seeing any immediate harm. But you, my child, are set apart. 338. You are chosen. What others can tolerate, you cannot. What others can touch without consequence, you must avoid for the sake of the calling upon your life. I have whispered this to your heart before. You felt the unrest, the inner prompting. That wasn't your imagination. That was me. And now I confirm it again with urgency. 405. Throw it out. It is blocking your healing. It is dulling your discernment. It is slowing down the promises I have spoken over you. The reason why you felt resistance isn't always the enemy. Sometimes it's me resisting what you're trying to build on the wrong foundation. I resist the proud, but give grace to the humble. 433. And humility looks like obedience, even when you don't fully understand, even when it costs something, even when you must let go of what feels familiar. You've been holding on to this for far too long. You've wrapped memories around it, emotions around it, but I see how those emotions bleed into your decisions, how they fog your spiritual eyesight. 5 o'clock. I want to speak to you more clearly. I want to move in your life more swiftly. I want to elevate you into a season you cannot even imagine. But I will not do it while this idol remains in your possession. Yes, I call it an idol because anything you value above my instruction becomes one. 525. Anything you defend when I am asking you to surrender, you have begun to worship in your heart. But I am not angry with you. I am jealous for you, jealous not in human frailty but in divine holiness. I desire your undivided attention, your full devotion, not because I need it, but because I know what happens when you give it to me. You flourish and you rise. 554. You become the radiant vessel I designed before you were even born. My child, I have been so patient. I have waited through your questions, your struggles, your seasons of silence. I've stood by you in the nights when you cried out and thought I was far away. I have been nearer than your next breath. And now I am telling you, with the weight of heaven behind my voice, let it go. 623. Yes, I see how deeply embedded this thing has become in your routines, your habits, your environment. But you are stronger than you think. I did not make you weak. I did not create you to be bound. The same spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you. And that spirit is power. That spirit is wisdom. 650. That spirit is conviction and comfort. Let it lead you now, even as I speak. Do not delay, my child. The longer you wait, the tighter the grip of this thing becomes. Procrastination is not harmless. It is a thief. It steals moments of obedience. It whispers lies that time is unlimited. But I tell you now, act quickly. 723. Do not give the enemy another foothold. Do not allow another day to pass in compromise. There is so much more waiting for you. I see your destiny blazing with light. I see relationships that are aligned with your purpose. Provision that is already on its way. Doors that are ready to swing open. But this one act of obedience is the key. 751. Throw it out. Burn it. Delete it. Break it. Remove it. Whatever you must do, do it now. Not later. Now. Your obedience in this moment is a seed, and I will honor it with supernatural increase. You're not alone. Many are bound by the same thing and don't even know it. But I have chosen you as a light to others. That's why I'm asking you to share this message. 824. Not to go viral, not to be popular, but to be a voice of deliverance. When you share what I have spoken, you become a vessel of my truth. Someone else needs this word. Someone else is ready to break free, and your obedience will unlock their freedom. 2. I see how you've wrestled with your thoughts, how you've tried to rationalize keeping it. 850. I see how you've questioned yourself, wondering if you're being too spiritual or too emotional. But I say to you, this is not emotion. This is revelation. And with revelation comes responsibility. Now that you know, act. I will help you. I will give you the courage, the strength, and the peace to obey. You will not do this alone. 919. My child, your future is calling. The version of you that walks in freedom, joy, and divine fulfillment is waiting on the other side of this moment. You are standing at a threshold. I am knocking. Will you open the door? Will you say yes? Will you trust me enough to let go of what you think you need so I can give you what I know you need? This is your moment. 949. I know you've failed before. I know you've made promises and broken them. But today is a new day. My mercies are new this morning. My grace is sufficient. I'm not holding your past against you. I'm pointing you to your future. The enemy accuses you, but I speak life. I do not call you by your failures. I call you by your name. 1018. Beloved, redeemed, chosen, victorious. That is who you are. And now it's time to walk like it. My child, listen again with the ease of your spirit. For what I am about to reveal is not shallow. It is not fleeting. It is deep and lasting and meant to change the rhythm of your life. You've often looked to the big moments, the grand decisions, the major crossroads, the life-altering events as the primary sources of change. 1056. But I tell you now, it is not always in the loud and the large that your life is shaped. It is in the small things, yes, the unnoticed, the daily, the routine, that either strengthen your foundation or cause it to quietly erode. You ask me for breakthrough, but I want you to understand this one truth deeply. What you choose in the small determines the magnitude of the great. 1124. It is the little thoughts that go unchecked that become beliefs. It is the small compromises you make when no one is watching that begin to harden your heart. It is in the quiet decisions, how you spend your time, what you allow your eyes to see, what you let your ears absorb, that the entire trajectory of your destiny is bent. 1148. Just as a ship's course is altered by the smallest change in the rudder, so your life is steered by what you might dismiss as too small to matter. But I see all. I see how the enemy hides in the ordinary. I see how he disguises poison and pleasure, how he slips destruction into distraction. You must become vigilant. 1213. My child, not anxious, not fearful, but alert in your spirit. The subtle things are often the most dangerous because they wrap themselves in normalcy. That app you scroll, that joke you laugh at, that gossip you entertain, that bitterness you leave unhealed, these are not just behaviors. These are seeds. 1238. And what is sown will surely grow. You cannot plant the world's seed and expect heaven's fruit. You cannot drink from dirty wells and expect living water to flow from your soul. That is why I call you now to cleanse even the hidden places. Let me into the corners of your heart, into the habits you've ignored, into the patterns you've defended. 1305. Let me expose, not to shame, but to heal. For when you allow me to remove the little foxes, the vineyard of your life will bloom again. These small things that you've deemed harmless are, in truth, cracks in the dam, leaks in the vessel. You were created to be filled, to overflow, but I cannot pour new oil into a vessel with slow, steady leaks. 1332. The damage may be slow, but it is sure, unless you allow me to mend, to repair, to refine. Do not say in your heart, it's just a song. Do not say, it's just one conversation, or it's just one night, or everyone does it. I did not call you to live like everyone. I called you to live as mine. And my children walk in truth, not trends. 1407. They live by conviction, not convenience. They guard their hearts, for from it flows the springs of life. My child, you have looked at the fruit of your life and wondered why it has been lacking. But I tell you, the root system matters more than what is seen above ground. Tend to the root. Tend to the private. Tend to the small. 1436. This is why I say again, it is necessary to hear my word every day, not as a religious ritual, but as a lifeline. You live in a world filled with noise, the opinions of others, the lies of the enemy, the confusion of culture, and you wonder why your peace is fragile. You wonder why your confidence wavers, why your vision gets cloudy. 1503. But how can you remain steady when you are more nourished by the world's words than by mine? My word is not just information. It is bread. It is water. It is fire. It is a sword. It is light in darkness and a lamp to your feet. You cannot live without it. Not truly. You may function, but you will not flourish. You may survive, but you will not thrive. 1538. You may move, but you will not advance in the spirit. I do not want you to just exist, my child. I want you to walk in power, in love, and in clarity. I want your mind renewed, your soul revived, your spirit alert. That only happens through my word, not heard once a week, not visited in crisis, but welcomed daily. 1606. Just as your body hungers for food each day, So your soul hungers for my truth. And when you do not feed it, you become weak, vulnerable, easily swayed by the winds of emotion and the currents of deception. But when my word dwells richly in you, you become immovable, unshakable, like a tree planted by streams of water, bearing fruit in every season. 1638. Do not believe the lie that says you don't have time. You make time for what you value. And if you value peace, if you value purpose, if you value my presence, you will make time to sit with me. You do not need hours, you need hunger. And if you come hungry, even a few verses will transform your atmosphere. Even a whisper from my mouth. 1707. My word is alive. It carries my spirit. It does not return void. When you read it, when you meditate on it, when you let it sink deep into the soil of your heart, it produces a harvest that no devil can steal. You've spent too long looking for big miracles without obeying the small disciplines. You've prayed for open doors while ignoring my daily invitations to come close. 1738. But the doors you seek swing open when your ears are tuned to my whisper. When you wake up each day and say, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening," you position yourself for alignment, for acceleration, for divine appointment. You stop striving and start abiding. And from that place, everything flows. I am not calling you to perfection. 1804. I'm calling you to connection. I want to walk with you again like I did with Adam in the cool of the day. I want your thoughts to align with mine. I want to whisper to you in the midst of your busyness. But I cannot speak over the noise if you will not still your heart. I will not compete with distractions. 1828. I wait. I knock. I pursue. But I will not force intimacy. You must choose me in the quiet moments. You must build a life where my voice is not occasional but essential. My child, look again at the little things. Look again at what you tolerate. Look again at what you repeat. The words you speak, the content you consume, the company you keep, all of these are shaping you. 1903. There is no neutral ground in the spirit. You are either drawing nearer or drifting. I want you, nay. I want to be the one who fills your mind in the morning and steadies your heart at night. I want to teach you how to see, not through the lens of culture, but through the lens of eternity. You keep asking me to change your life, and I will. 1931. But I do not start with the external. I start with the internal. The miracle you're praying for begins in your habits. The shift you long for begins in your thoughts. The blessing you desire flows from the posture of your heart. When you fill your life with my word, you begin to think like me, speak like me, walk like me. 1958. You become salt and light. You carry my presence into places darkened by despair. You change atmospheres without saying a word simply because my truth lives inside you. That is the kind of life I've called you to. Not one of roller coaster emotions, not one ruled by impulse or stress, but one anchored in me. 2026. That anchor is built daily. Just as a tree's strength comes from years of deepening roots, so your strength comes from the daily choice to hear me, believe me, and obey me. Even when it's quiet, even when it's small, even when it's unseen. I see how often you've dismissed these small moments, waiting for something dramatic to happen. 2051. But the deepest transformation happens when no one is watching. When you open my word and read even though you feel nothing. When you turn away from temptation even though no one would have known. When you choose forgiveness, humility, generosity, not for applause, but for me. These are the small decisions that build an unshakable life. 2118. Even now, my child, I am stirring a new awareness within you. I am awakening your spirit to the subtlety of my voice. Do not look for thunder. Listen for the whisper. I often speak in the quiet because those who truly hunger will listen closely. I do not hide myself to frustrate you. I draw you in so that you may find me. 21:44. And when you do, you find everything else in its place. The wisdom you seek is in my word. The healing you desire begins in my presence. The strength you need is found when you feed daily on my truth. The peace that eludes you rests within every verse I have spoken. My word is not just a book. It is breath. It is the heartbeat of heaven. 22:13. And every time you open it with a sincere heart, I meet you there. You do not need to be a scholar. You do not need to understand everything at once. You only need to come with a heart that says, Lord, I want to know you. And I will honor that. I will illuminate what you need. I will reveal what will bring life. 22:40. My spirit and my word agree. They work together to form you, guide you, and lift you above the patterns of this world. My child, the world will always have its voices, but my voice must become the loudest. Not by volume, but by weight. Let my voice outweigh your fears, your doubts, your impulses. Let my word become the lens through which you see every situation. 23:13. This is how you remain stable in an unstable world. This is how you overcome temptation. This is how you discern what is truly from me. Do not underestimate the small things. The daily prayers, the quiet worship, the whispered yes to me. They are building something eternal. They are laying brick upon brick in the unseen. 23:40. And one day soon, you will look up and realize you are standing in the very thing you once only dreamed of. This is how I work. Steadily, faithfully, deeply. Not rushed, but precise. Not chaotic, but purposeful. And when you build your life on my word, truly build, not just visit it when convenient. The storms will come, but they will not destroy you. 2400 hours 08. The winds will blow, but they will not move you, because you will be anchored, grounded, rooted in truth that cannot be shaken. I have seen every tear, every setback, every disappointment. And I am telling you, my word will not fail you. My promises are sure. My timing is perfect. My presence is constant. So come, return, abide, draw near every day. 2400 hours 44. Even when you're tired, even when you're busy, even when you feel nothing, especially then, come anyway. For it is not about emotion. It is about devotion. And I honor those who seek me even in the silence, especially in the silence. Do not despise the day of small beginnings. What begins as 5 minutes in my presence can turn into a lifestyle of glory. 25-16. What begins as a verse can become a voice that changes your generation. My word is power, and that power is available to you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. For today, this very moment. I love you too much to leave you in patterns that keep you small. I love you too much to let compromise steal your calling. 25:43. So I am speaking now, clearly, firmly, lovingly. Watch the small things. Guard the hidden places. Hear my word every day. Let me form you daily, just as I formed the world with my voice. For I am still speaking, and I want to speak to you. Will you listen? Will you choose me? Not just once, but again and again in every small moment. 26:14. Will you build a life that is not swayed by storms because it is built on my truth? Come, my child. I am waiting every day, every moment. Just come and watch what I do in you, through you, and around you. One small choice at a time. I am the Lord your God. I do not change, and I will never stop pursuing you. Never. 26:47. Amen.